Cars are everywhere these days. We're all complaining about traffic. You can't go anywhere, especially in town city like Dublin, Cork and Waterford, where we are today. Is there an answer? Well, the lads down here, Tom Murphy Car Sales, think they have it. These are the Emco Scooters. We've two different types to show you today. Myself and Paddy have travelled all the way down from Drogheda to have a good look around these and take them for a little spin.
So why might you choose a scooter, specifically an e-scooter? Well, look, people are thinking about downsizing and maybe reducing from a two-car family down to a one-car family and an alternative mode of transport. And something like this could be absolutely perfect because they're zero emissions, they're very easy to drive, and if you have had a license for quite a long time like I have, you might not even need to get some extra qualifications to drive it either. These start just about under €5,000, late €4,000, but you can pay just a little bit more for the top spec version. But they are so simple to use, as we'll find out. Maybe today isn't the right conditions to drive it, but let's see how we get on.
So we're both with the Emco Scooters here. That's the brand. It's made in Germany and their head office is in Germany as well. So what do we have here? Well, look, I've got the Novi. Now this is the cheaper of the two and it starts at €4,799. But with that, the guys down here at Tom Murphy, they're actually giving you the helmet that comes with it and the standard charging cable as well. And that's all in, there's no delivery charges. And in fact, they're even doing free delivery for the first few scooters, I think. So really, really good value. But what do you get for that? So the one that I have here comes with a 1500 watt, a 1.5 kilowatt motor, and that's the equivalent of about 2 horsepower. Now, having said that, this is the equivalent of around a 49cc Vespa standard little moped. For that, you get your top speed of 45 kilometers an hour, and in slower speeds, you'll get about that 60-65 kilometers of range, go up to the maximum 45 kilometers an hour range, and you're down to around the 45 to 50 kilometer range. But the great thing about these is that you can double up on the batteries inside them if you want. Costs you an extra €1,200, and you effectively double your range. So that's the basic intro for this one. I think it's time to switch over to you, Paddy, and you're going to talk about the Nova.
So this is the slightly higher spec Nova, and it's gone for more of a retro styling with this compared to the more classic, if you like, Vespa design of your version. This one is slightly more expensive, €5,299. It has disc brakes at the front, drums at the rear, and it has slightly more horsepower, 2.3 horsepower compared to your 2 horsepower, I believe.
Yeah.
So you can add an extra battery to this as well, which will put the power up to 4.1 horsepower, and of course it doubles the range from 50 to 100 kilometers as well.
The Emco Scooters have essentially this one here, the lower one, 2 horsepower, and it's plenty to get you up to speed. I've noticed that there just driving around outside, even coming up the ramp that comes in here, it gets you up to speed pretty quick. And in fact, although they say it goes to 45 kilometers an hour, I think it actually brings you up to 50 before it realizes it's kind of gone over its limit and bringing you back down to 45 again.
I really love the styling of this. This is exactly how I would have mine, in this color blue. And I think I'd probably go for this spec as well because it just looks great. It's reminiscent of those Italian afternoons, having your espresso and spinning around Rome. But look, it's a very simple thing to use. It's very simple to operate. If we look at the controls, there's not really much to show you because it's so straightforward. So you have your lights, you have your indicator switches. This is your digital display, which will obviously show your speedometer. On the other version Blake has, it's an analog display, and there's nothing else to know except twist and go. Obviously these are your brakes. I'll show you how you charge it. So you open this panel with the key. If you do want to charge it from your house, you can just simply put your power supply into here, or if you want to take your battery with you, like a very elaborate and very strange suitcase, you can do that. You can take this battery out, you can charge that separately, or you can add a second battery as well, which if you want to have twice the range and a little bit more power as well. Twist and go then. You have your kickstand on the left hand side. Put it on here, you can see the display shows that my battery is full. And it's a simple case of twisting and off you go.
On the other hand, I have the Novi. I think it's a little bit trendier. It's not quite as retro as Paddy's, but for me, that's okay. I think I prefer this one, and to be honest, I like it in black. Now, overall, it's pretty much the same, the bones, the structures of it. The difference really is that I've got two bells just here, and I've got that more analog display on the front. Two mirrors, so you can see what's coming behind you. Now, there's a little bit of functionality here as well. So, Paddy had the extra little compartment on the side. I really only have this one just here under the seats. So we twist that and it lifts up, and this is where the batteries live. Now, it's essentially the same idea as Paddy's. We can just disconnect it and take them out. So for me, this is a really interesting question. You have to ask yourself, if you think about buying one of these, you're looking at 4,799 starting off. The extra battery is 1,200 euros more. Is that worth it to you? Are you ever going to do more than 40 or 50 kilometers on one of these things? But I think it is. For me, I'd have one left in work and then I'd have one at home. And you simply just swap and change, and you got a full battery every time you need it. But yeah, just close it over, take your key out, you're in the ignition, turn it to on, kick back your stand, and away you go. You can get either the 28 amp hour or the 37 amp hour battery. So lower one there is good for kind of about 45, 50 kilometers at full speed. The bigger battery then will be good for about 65 kilometers of range. But the great thing about these is that you can add in that second battery and you're doubling it up. At that stage, you take it easy in one of these and you will definitely clock the 100 kilometers out of it. It's absolutely fantastic, and it feels so brisk and it's so quiet as well. So here I am. Just give it a little bit of beans and you're away. So as I come around the corner here now, I'm going to take off away from you and you'll see just what kind of acceleration these things have. So here we are, 3, 2, 1. And solid enough brakes as well. Now 45 kilometers an hour might not sound like much, but when you're sitting up on one of these, you're standing upright, you've got the wind in your face, it feels like plenty. You could talk about practicality. You could say this is great, it's going to lower emissions. You know, swap out your other car for something like this, which is only 5 grand, and do everything. That's all well and good. But in reality, why are people going to buy these? For me, it's just so much fun. It's putting a smile on my face as much as any other vehicle I've driven in the last few weeks. I absolutely love it. And to be honest, I don't really want to hand them back. The sun is setting outside now, we're running out of daylight. I think it's time to wrap things up. We've spent a few hours with these and we just have had great fun with them. Paddy took them out earlier on, got absolutely lashed upon. I'm glad I was inside for that part of it. But anyway, I think it's time to make some conclusions about these. We know we've had great fun. What would I go for? What would I buy? I'm going to stick with this one, Paddy. We've kind of swapped over a little bit. I'm sticking with my Novi. I like the black as well. The red is kind of a little bit flary, but you know, I'm getting a little bit older now. I think just a more conservative black with the tan coloured seat there. I definitely get the box on the back. You can order one of these with that box on the back, just to give you a little bit more storage, as well as the hooks just here on the front. I suppose then the big question after that, Paddy, I'm going to say that I would buy the second battery, because with this I'm 4,800 euros. They're going to give me a helmet with it for free and all my charging cables. Another 1,002 euros still gets me bang on the nose at 6,000. I've got over 100 kilometers range if I need it, and the fact that I could leave a battery in the office or wherever it is, a friend's house or something like that, you just gives you that extra bit of flexibility and longevity. And to be honest, I think that's what I'd go for. 6,000 euros all in, no maintenance on these things. And of course, Paddy, I know you're going to change your mind and you're going to say you want one of these. Am I right in saying that?
Well, you haven't quite got me to change my mind yet. I am sticking to my blue Nova. I love it, and this is the colour I would have. This is the spec I would have. I quite actually like one of these, so I might have to float that at home when I go home later on. It's something I probably would just get the basic one. I wouldn't see the extra benefit for me of having the extra battery. Where I live about 5 kilometres from town, so I would nip in and out. I would have the back box as well for a pint of milk, bit of bread or whatever to put in the back. But as a solution for just getting around, I think it's ideal. It's great. It's not going to get you in too much trouble. It's very, very easy to use, and it's super clean and won't cost you much to run either.
The sun was setting on a long day. We had a great time thanks to Tom Murphy Car Sales down in Waterford, who have distribution of these excellent Emco scooters. We were really impressed and can definitely see them fitting into many people's lifestyles. The only thing left to do for us at that stage was pack away the helmets and turn off the lights.